Good morning, MASH, the After Jog Thoughts. My name is Uyonela Mashalaba, aka the iceberg that never broke. Obviously, on Twitter, you'll find us as Mashalaba Speaks. On IG is the man Yonela, and on Facebook, it will be Yonela Mashalaba. Do not forget to subscribe, do like, and do comment below. Do follow us on today's Good Morning MASH, the After Jog Thoughts. Follow us today as we'll be doing the park run. It's just 5 kilometers today, so yeah, we'll see. I'm actually waiting for my friend Josive. He was supposed to be here, so yeah, we'll see. I was looking for you. I was actually in behind you, and then there you go. Good morning! That was a hectic 5 kilometers. I don't know. I would struggle with jogging after 8 when the sun is out. I don't know. I just seem kind to do it for me. 6 a.m. jogs are the thing. And then after 8 or going to 9, it becomes more difficult for me. Do not forget to subscribe and comment below, and do like the video, guys. Always first like the video. I like the likes on the videos first. Today we're going to be speaking about Julius Malema and how he has been dragged for the past few days on the Twitter streets and basically on social media for his support of Burna Boy to come and perform in South Africa. South Africans have been calling out Julius Malema on this support on Burna Boy. Again, before we even go any further, anything that is going to be discussed on this particular channel are just my views. It has nothing to do with anything else. This is just how I view the issue, and you are allowed to agree or disagree with me. So Julius Malema has been called out on Twitter streets for his support to Burna Boy, saying people have been saying that he seems to support other foreign African nationals more than his own South African nationals. If you remember a few months ago, during the so-called attacks on a foreign-owned shop in the city of Johannesburg and Pretoria, Burna Boy was one of the artists that came out calling South Africans xenophobic, and saying that the South African government should wake the F up And then AKA also came through calling out to Burna Boy, saying that how dare he call South Africans xenophobic when South Africans have been supporting his music before he was even popular. So that is what has been going on social media in the past couple of days. People have been dragging with Julius Malema and some of I think EFF supporters. I'm not sure whether those people are EFF supporters or not. They have been saying that they will boycott the EFF, that they will not vote for the EFF again. And some of the people who claim to have voted for the EFF have come out to apologize for voting for the EFF. And of course, some EFF supporters have come up in support of Julius Malema and his stance on Burna Boy. If we look at the EFF policies, you will agree with me that the support of Malema is well informed by the EFF policy of borderless Africa. So EFF has for a while came out advocating for the borders of Africa to be demolished, saying that the concept of borders are colonial in their nature and that they are not an African idea or ideal, and therefore we should do away with borders. So his support, I think, came as an interpretation of that particular policy. So people have been saying that perhaps the EFF, after the exit of Jacob Zuma, has become irrelevant in South Africa, and that Julius Malema is now getting annoying because he has nothing else to talk about. Okay, let's roll back into as early as prior to 1994. Prior to 1994, South Africans have always been known to be aggressive towards foreign African nationals. It's something that even started prior to 1994, and that has not improved even in the dawn of democracy in South Africa. People might have thought that would have improved things, but it actually hasn't. And for the record, I am against any form of xenophobia. I have been actively campaigning against any form of xenophobic attacks in South Africa as early as, I think it was 2014. As early as 2014, I have been going up and down in the streets of Port Elizabeth speaking against xenophobia. I know the effects of xenophobia. I know what they can be in terms of African unity. I know how it can impact families and economies of South Africa. So I'm totally against any form of xenophobia. However, South African nationals for a while now have been complaining that it seems like African nationals, and particularly they have particularly targeted Nigerian men, saying that they are at the forefront of the drug trade industry in South Africa. And Julius Malema has challenged that, saying that it can't be that Africans are the only people that are attacked when it comes to the distribution of drugs in South Africa. There are other people that are non-black that are in South Africa and are at the helm of the drug industry. And why are we not calling out those people? And some people have been saying again that perhaps Julius Malema has reached his ceiling. And then I looked back in terms of like, are those statements true? And I saw an article on Email and Guardian that has again repeated that South Africa is one of the most unequal countries in the world. It is said that the poorest people in South Africa earn an average income of earn an average income that can be compared to that of Burundi, and the richest people in South Africa earn an income that can be compared to that of Belgium. Now, if you look at Belgium and Burundi, the average income in Burundi is around $600, and the average income in Belgium is around I'd say $33,000. That is drastic. To understand that the levels of inequality in South Africa, the gap is that wide when it comes to inequality in South Africa. And then you go back and then you look at the top 1% of the richest South Africans, the top richest percent, top 1% South Africans control an average of around 67% of the South African wealth. And then if you take that 1% and include the other 9%, they control around 93% of the wealth of South Africa. And the 90% of the South African population is said to be only in control of 7% of the wealth of South Africa. And you will know that white people in South Africa are most likely to get jobs than black people. And when they do get jobs, white South Africans are more likely to get an average of around 25,000 per month, and black South Africans are more likely to get anything from 6,000 to 6,900 per month. That drastic gap in financial income just based on race in South Africa is just unspeakable. So for me, and actually women in South Africa are said to earn 30% less than males in South Africa, anywhere in South Africa. So the question on whether EFF is still relevant or not for me is based on those figures. I don't think Burna Boy would be a deciding factor to whether the economic freedom front, economic freedom fighters, is still relevant in South Africa or not. I don't even think Burna Boy is actually a topic that is going to be discussed by serious EFF supporters. So I don't see a major shift of EFF supporters based on Julius Malema's support on Burna Boy. And I actually think that Julius Malema's support on Burna Boy is actually tied to EFF policy. So serious EFF supporters are not going to be moved by this. In fact, serious EFF supporters are more likely to support Julius Malema and his decision to actually support Burna Boy. So I am, yes, discarding the thought that this is the end of the EFF. I don't think the EFF is going to end, the life of the EFF is going to end anytime soon. So long as the inequalities based on racial lines still persist in South Africa. That is just my opinion on the issue. I'm not going to be long. Again, I have to go to work for one. Anyways, again, this is Uyonela Mashalaba, aka the iceberg that never broke. Do not forget to subscribe, do like, and do comment below. I'll see you guys next time, for sure.